Did you know that nearly 70% of moviegoers prefer a surprising ending over a perfect one? It's true. As storytelling evolves, so do audience expectations. Gone are the days when a neat conclusion satisfied viewers. Today, they crave stories that feel real, messy, and unpredictable. In this video, we'll explore why perfect endings are losing their charm. We'll dive into powerful strategies that can help you craft stories that resonate more deeply. You'll learn how to embrace chaos, create flawed characters, and leave your audience questioning rather than satisfied. So, if you're ready to take your storytelling skills to the next level, stick around. Let's discover how to captivate audiences with stories that are anything but perfect. Chapter 1: The Death of Predictability. Why flawless endings fall flat. Once upon a time, audiences craved perfect endings. The hero won, the villain lost, and everything tied up in a neat bow. But now, people expect more. They want stories that feel real, unpredictable, and full of genuine emotion. Research shows that 68% of viewers prefer an unexpected or surprising ending over a traditional one. Why? Because real life isn't perfect, and audiences connect more with stories that reflect their own messy experiences. A great example is Game of Thrones. Its finale left fans divided, but it's clear that people were talking. That's the power of an imperfect ending, it sparks conversation. If your story ends too predictably, people forget it the moment it's over. Instead, give them something to chew on, something they didn't expect. Psychologist Melanie Green says, "We engage more deeply with stories that don't give us what we expect." This means a flawless ending often leaves people feeling unfulfilled because it lacks challenge. It's like watching a movie where you know the entire plot from the first 5 minutes. Boring, right? Take La La Land, for example. Its ending wasn't a classic, happily ever after, but it hit hard because it felt honest. By letting your characters face loss or uncertainty, you create something more relatable. So, forget the perfect endings, focus on endings that make people feel. Chapter 2: Emotional Rollercoasters. Crafting stories that resonate, not resolve. Most great stories aren't remembered for their endings but for the journey they take you on. Think about it, people still talk about Breaking Bad or The Sopranos, not just because of how they ended, but because of how they made us feel along the way. In fact, studies suggest that emotional engagement is a stronger predictor of a story's success than its resolution. When crafting your story, don't just focus on plot points. Dive deep into the emotional arcs. For example, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind takes audiences on a wild emotional ride. It's not the neatest story, but the feelings it stirs stick with you long after it ends. That's the kind of impact you want to aim for. One strategy to achieve this is to challenge your characters. Put them through emotional highs and lows that force them to grow. Audiences want to see characters evolve, not just succeed. As novelist John Green once said, "Great stories aren't about how characters change, they're about how they struggle to change." Another key to emotional storytelling is to avoid wrapping everything up too cleanly. Sometimes, the most powerful endings leave questions unanswered. Life is rarely simple, and your story shouldn't be either. When viewers are left to process what just happened, they stay engaged with your story long after the credits roll. Chapter 3: Character Flaws are the new superpowers. Perfect characters don't exist in real life, so why should they in fiction? Audiences are tired of seeing flawless heroes who always make the right choices. They want real, relatable characters who mess up, learn, and grow. In fact, a 2019 survey by Writers Guild of America found that 72% of viewers connect more with flawed characters. Think about characters like Tony Stark from Iron Man or BoJack Horseman. They're deeply flawed, but that's what makes them memorable. People see themselves in these characters, not their successes, but their struggles. And when those characters stumble, it creates moments of deep empathy. One of the best ways to create a compelling character is to lean into their imperfections. Let them fail. Let them make bad decisions. Flawed characters create tension and conflict, which is what keeps audiences invested. When your character has to grapple with their own shortcomings, they become far more relatable and human. Another strategy is to give your character an internal conflict, not just an external one. The best stories aren't just about defeating the villain, they're about characters battling their own demons. In Breaking Bad, Walter White's biggest enemy wasn't the drug cartels, it was himself. That's what made his story so gripping. Author J.K. Rowling once said, "Flaws are the foundation of character." By embracing your character's flaws, you create stories that resonate on a deeper level. So, instead of aiming for perfect heroes, aim for flawed humans. That's what audiences connect with the most. If you're enjoying these insights, make sure to subscribe for more tips on becoming a great storyteller. Chapter 4: Embrace the Chaos, the art of open-ended conclusions. Not every story needs a tidy conclusion. Sometimes, leaving things unresolved is what keeps audiences hooked. Open-ended conclusions aren't just a storytelling choice, they're a strategy. They invite audiences to think, debate, and re-watch. According to a study by the Journal of Media Psychology, 60% of viewers are more likely to discuss a movie with an ambiguous ending. It's because these stories don't give all the answers, so the audience has to fill in the gaps themselves. Take Inception. The ending, where the spinning top leaves viewers wondering if Cobb is still dreaming, sparked endless debates. People still argue about it today. That's the power of leaving things unfinished. It gets people involved in the story long after they've left the theater. Another great example is The Sopranos. The screen cuts to black, leaving everyone unsure of Tony's fate. Was he killed? Did he survive? No one knows for sure. But that open-ended conclusion ensured that fans kept talking about the show for years. It's a brilliant way to keep your story alive in people's minds. To pull off an open ending, you need to strike the right balance. It shouldn't feel lazy or incomplete. Instead, it should feel intentional, like you're inviting the audience to think more deeply about what they've just watched. As writer Ernest Hemingway once said, the dignity of movement of an iceberg is due to only 1/8 of it being above water. Leave your audience to discover the rest on their own. Chapter 5: Subverting Expectations. The plot twist revolution. Plot twists have been around for centuries, but their role in modern storytelling has evolved. Today's audiences are smart, and they've seen every twist in the book. So, if you're going to use a plot twist, it has to be good. It needs to catch the audience off guard without feeling cheap or forced. The key to an effective plot twist is subverting expectations in a way that still feels natural. You don't want a twist to come out of nowhere, it needs to make sense once it's revealed. A 2020 study from Psychological Science found that people enjoy plot twists more when they're unexpected, but still plausible. The twist should feel like a puzzle piece that fits, even if the audience didn't see it coming. Consider The Sixth Sense. When the twist is revealed, it completely changes how you view the entire movie. But the clues were there all along. The brilliance of a good plot twist lies in its ability to make the audience rethink everything they've seen, without feeling tricked. On the flip side, a bad twist can ruin your story. Avoid twists that feel too random or disconnected from the rest of the plot. As filmmaker Rian Johnson said, a good twist is like a magic trick. You want people to feel the surprise, but also see how you did it once they look back. Subverting expectations isn't just about plot twists, though. It's about defying the conventions of your genre or breaking the rules in a way that feels fresh. Gone Girl did this beautifully. Just when you think you're watching a typical crime thriller, the story flips and becomes something entirely different. That's how you keep your audience on the edge of their seats. If you enjoyed this video and want to dive deeper into the art of storytelling, don't forget to subscribe. Let's keep the conversation going and elevate your storytelling game together.